I've had some very vicious attacks on Twitter. Now, what do these people want when they abuse you and attack you and insult you and threaten you? They want you to be intimidated. They want you to be angry. They want you to react in a nasty way. So, what is the best way to react? Gently, mock them maybe a little bit. Sometimes, I mean, I blocked a lot of people, but if you respond with, I forgive you, or I'm sorry you feel that way, God bless, I think it is the Christian. Well, I know it's a Christian response, but also, I mean, let's be honest, it you win the argument. And what you have to remember on social media is people say to me, "Oh, why are you engaging with this person?" I'm not engaging with that person. I'm engaging with the thousands of people who are watching me engage with that person. And they're wondering how a guy wearing a funny collar is going to react to someone who's just insulted them. So I think if we could do this in greater life, in political life as well, I'll give you an example. A politician in the UK, Scottish nationalist leader, excuse me, he died recently. He was very polarizing as a figure. A lot of people disliked him intently. When he died, what was said about him was very kind and quite forgiving, quite loving in a way. What a wonderful world it will be if people spoke like that and behaved like that when that person was still alive. Now, I'm not being Pollyanna-ish. I'm not being naive. I'm a pretty wealthy person. I've seen a lot of stuff, but we have become so polarized. We react so violently and angrily to things which really aren't even that significant. We get things out of proportion. And I think it has done damage to the body politic. I blame social media to a large extent. Um, I remember once meeting someone who'd been very abusive about me. And I think he was actually a bit intimidated, but he was so apologetic and he had objectified me and thought, well, this is not a person with feelings and a family and fears and ambitions or whatever. And this is what tends to happen. We don't think of the person. We just think of the way we feel about what that person said or what that person represents. And some of the things that are said about Trudeau are absolutely appalling. He's not a bad man. You might not like his politics. Fine, vote for another party. You might think he hasn't been a good prime minister. Fine, get rid of him. But the abuse and the attacks, the personal attacks on this man, he's why? He's a democratic leader in a very tolerant and multicultural nation. Absolutely unacceptable what has been said about him. And also the things that are said about conservative leaders. Pierre Poilievre, I mean, I've met him, I don't know him, but what the left says about him sometimes, the man is not a racist. He's not homophobic. He's a conservative leader. I disagree with some of his policies, but for goodness sake, to blanket him with all of these isms, you're this and you're that. He's not a fascist, for goodness sake. He's a conservative leader, a quite right-wing conservative leader. Disagree with him, but don't abuse and insult simply because you dislike what you think is someone's politics.